What's good, YouTube? In this video, I have 3 tips that will help you rank up to Masters, or if you are in Masters, these tips will also help you rank up from Masters to Pred. These 3 tips are advanced tips that I have. I put out a video talking about 5 beginner tips, and those 5 beginner tips are for sure tips that will help you win games and also help you rank up. Now, with the first tip that I have in today's video is use grenades. Now, it's dependent on the map on what type of grenades you should use, but majority of the time you guys want to pick up frag grenade. Now, you are maxed out in arenas with 3 frag grenades, unless if you're fused. I just noticed that fused could carry up to 6 grenades. That's something I learned because I was using him a little bit. But at max, majority of the players can only carry up to 3 grenades. So use all 3 or at least get 2. You want to use grenades in this game mode because they do so many things to help you and you help your teammates. And also they hurt the enemies a lot. Not just by damage, just by the positioning that you could do to them by making them go out of position. Now, when you're throwing grenades, you want to not just throw it at the enemies, but you want to learn how to sky nade, right? A lot of the high level players use sky nades in arenas to get these enemies out of position. The frag grenades also give you guys easy damage, right? This damage is basically free, right? You could hit anywhere from like 3 damage to a big nade that hits for 100. And a lot of times when you hit for a nade that hits for 100, it allows you and your teammates to be able to push. Now, the more damage that you do to the enemies, that means that they have to use more resources, right? They have to shield up a lot more. And you could easily do this by using the frag grenades, right? Using that sky nade. And at times in beginning rounds, I'm using a Mozambique. And when I use the Mozambique, I'm allowed to get like 2 frag grenades. And easily you throw them up in the sky, you crack the enemies, and the enemies are burning shields because of those nades. Now, my advice when using frag grenades or using the sky nade technique, I would definitely recommend every round keep picking up frag grenades because you want to learn them, you want to get better with them, and it's repetition. You always want to keep using them. So, every round just use frag grenades. The best maps that I would say for these nades would be for sure Party Crasher and for Phase Runner. If you know how to sky nade, then you will be good with these frag grenades because a lot of people post up at the same like power spots or positions to where they hold. So if you know how to use sky nades, then it's easy to sky nade the enemies because they're always posting up at certain spots on the map for a Phase Runner. But yeah, my first tip, like I said, just learn how to use the frag grenades, learn how to sky nade, and these will for sure help you. Now, my second tip that I have for this video is abusing head glitch spot, right? You want to abuse head glitch spots because 1, you do damage to the enemies, and at the same time, you take no damage. Or at least majority of the time, you're not going to take damage because you're not exposing your body, your legs. You're just exposing your head. And this is really difficult to hit. Unless if that enemy has like a ranger, right? A 3x ranger or a 2x4. Maybe at times a 2x bruiser. They could hit you, but majority of the time, they're not going to be able to hit you if you use head glitch spots correctly, right? There's a lot of places on the map where you can use the head glitch spots, and these spots are OP. They help a lot. They help you control the game, or at least control the round, right? Because the enemies won't be able to peek you. They won't peek you because they know they're not able to hit you. So you could do damage to them if they do peek you, which would be dumb. Because they can't hit you, but you can hit them. So you're getting free damage off them because you have a head glitch spot that they can't shoot you. Now, I will say with head glitch spots, they're really good with characters like Pathfinder, Gibby, Revenant, and Caustic. The reason being is because these characters are taller. So on a lot of these arena maps, these head glitch spots, they do favor their taller characters because they can see over them, while some characters they can't. For instance, like characters like Wraith or Lifeline, Watson, the smaller characters, they for sure have a problem with this, because I remember playing with, you know, like playing Wraith, and it's so much different from playing like a Gibby or Pathfinder, because it's hard to use his head glitch spots. Instead of using the head glitch spots, they would have to move to the side to shoot your enemies. And when you move to the side of like a crate or a box or some sort of railing, you're exposing your body and your head, compared to a character like Gibby or Pathfinder, to where they're only going to expose their head, which makes them a harder target to hit because they're using a head glitch spot, and it favors the taller character. That's also another reason why I do play Pathfinder and Gibby in arenas, because the big reason is because these head glitch spots. Now, the last tip that I have in this video, I would say patience. Patience is key when it comes to arenas. Unless if you're doing something like, you know, you guys have a strategy where you're all going to push at the same time. That's the only time, like, you know, you take this tip away, you know, take patience away. But majority of the time in arenas, you want to wait until you knock someone to push the enemies or full send, right? Patience is key. You know, let the enemies make the mistake. You don't want to be the first one to get knocked, because when you're the first one to get knocked, or even if your teammate's the first one to get knocked on your team, you guys lose the advantage, and the advantage simply just goes to the enemies, because now they have a 3-on-2 advantage because you guys have one person down. So be patient. Try not to make any mistakes, right? You want them to make a mistake. You want them to be, you know, not patient, to where they're going to do something to maybe go a certain way. And because you guys are patient, you could definitely beam the enemies when they're out of position. And easily you could do this with guns like the G7 Scout, Wingman, and the assault rifles, right? The assault rifles like the R3, Flatline, and L-Star, because these guns will punish players that aren't patient. They're just trying to get angles, but because they're out of position, you guys could fry them easily. Now, with patience also comes with just really in arenas, you just want to go for damage. Just damage the enemies as much as you can until you're burning their resources, right? You're burning all their shields. They have to use their batteries, their cells. And when you know that they ran out, you'll know that they ran out because they won't peek anymore. And when they won't peek anymore, that means that it's easy for you guys to get angles on them and start frying them. But the biggest thing, like I said, with being patient is really just not getting knocked on your team, right? Play your life. And also just going for damage. Go for damage so you can knock the enemies, or at least knock one of them on the team, and then you and your teammates push at the same time and then go for the win. So yeah, these 3 tips: being patient, abusing head glitch spots, and using the frag grenades, and learning how to skynade people. Use these 3 tips, and I promise you guys will win a lot more games in arenas. You guys will rank up easily using these tips. And let me know what you guys think about this video. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you on the next one.